Welcome back to another episode of Pints with Pals. I'm your host, Jeremy, and with me, as always, we have Jason and Mike. What's up, guys?
Hi, guys.
Not much.
Oh,
hey.
Wait. You didn't say hi, guys. I got confused.
That's fine. Yeah, no, it's been a while since we've done a podcast. We've all taken a hiatus for quite a while, so our stockpile of episodes are done.
Yeah, this is coming out tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we have another beer that brought to us by Mr. Jason himself. It's a Everyday Pilsner by East End Brewing.
I have not heard of this.
Me
I haven't even
either.
heard of the brewery.
East End Brewing.
East End Brewery. Yeah, it's a Pittsburgh brewery. In East End.
On the west side.
Yeah, it's a
the
right,
east side,
true.
the east end of the west side of Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And as this season's been going, I've been having issues with my beers, so I don't have a brew date on this or can date. So
It looks like is this a smaller brewery? I'm assuming.
I mean, they have two locations. I would say they're smaller, but they're
Uh-oh.
I don't have a. I'd have to look up their.
Oh.
What? Oh, you shook it.
I don't think so, but I think I danced to my office. So I'm super excited about drinking a beer, and then it's a very clear beer.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a Pilsner.
So
It's supposed to be crisp.
what's the
right?
difference? Is there a difference between a Pilsner and a lager?
use the ingredients, but Pilsners come from the Czech Republic. From a city called Pilsen, or so however you want to say it. Hence the name Pilsner. But it goes through the same lagering kind of process.
Smells good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the I have post-traumatic stress from the one of the that
The Shandy, the one that I had.
yeah, well, no, some of the beers that we've had, I've had post-traumatic stress from for sure. But there
All
was
the ones that I got.
Smithwick's. The Smithwick's smelled terrible.
Yeah, that's true. It's not bad. It's
It's very light.
No, it's not.
Very,
It's good.
a little more on the hoppy side.
Yeah.
yeah. I definitely taste it on the back of my throat a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely
A,
some dank there, just chilling, hanging out.
but I feel like that ends up being a lot of the light, crisp ales or whatever you get from a smaller brewery. They have a bit more hoppiness to them.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering the reason I was
stand
asking.
out.
Yeah, the reason I was asking about how big a brewery it was is because while the can looks very symmetric, there you can see a seam down the center of it, and they basically wrap it with this
Sticker.
Sticker, yeah.
So I was wondering if it was they're not sure if they're going to keep these kind of cans or if that's just the way the market is going. They're just kind of forcing.
Yeah, it's probably easier for them just to use stickers. Jeremy, I thought you had mentioned something about that before. That for
It's probably
breweries,
cost.
smaller breweries, it's easier just to do that, to stick something on there versus having to have custom cans.
And print it off, stuff like that, yeah. I think it's pretty neat because you can actually go to, I think it's called Lurker's Side Pull Tab, and get a Milko or milk pourer, which is a very Czech way of pouring a beer. So basically, what they'll do is they'll fill it up by yay high of beer, and then the rest will just be foam. So it kind of takes on this milky kind of an appearance to it.
That sounds gross.
Where's
very flat.
I think it's called Lurker's Side Pull Tab. I don't know if it's in Pittsburgh, but it's something that it was off their website that I grabbed. I thought was pretty interesting. Okay, because I've watched a bunch of videos on the Czech Republic or Czech style beers, and they have so the pull tabs go towards them, so it kind of pivots, where a normal pull you just pull downward. Mike's throwing me off with the changing colors. So I guess the way they can flutter that pull handle is how they can get the different kind of pours. I think they even have a half and half, which is half beer, half foam, all foam.
I feel like I accidentally do that if I pour my own beer at a
right.
party. Well, specifically at like birthday parties and stuff when you have the keg with the
Yeah.
pump and people just like over pressurize it.
Pump it.
You would think that would have a built-in like pressure release valve that would like let them know that like, okay, well you went to like 15 psi, you're gonna just get foam.
Do they have a PRV valve on them? Yeah, I mean, you have one.
I don't think so. I think that they're just.
I would assume they would just for safety reasons, because like I think kegs can hold like whatever 160 psi or whatever crap it is, but I would assume because like my corny kegs, they have PRV valves on them, and they will pop once you hit like I think it's 140, 150 psi. Okay, fair enough.
I found the tap part of it in there, but I don't see the handle or the pump.
No, I was thinking of the keg itself. Like I wonder if the keg's got a PRV valve on it. Yeah, I was never. Don't remember the last time I had a half keg or pony keg, what the heck they're called.
Quarter barrel. Yeah, there was at a graduation party. Wait, before we get there, what does everybody think of it? What is your rating? We haven't done this in so long. It's kind of hard.
I know.
Right. Yeah.
Hey,
Thumbs up,
Pilsner.
Yeah, I could drink it. Yeah, it's good.
Mine's a medium, just because it's got the hoppiness that I don't really love. If I'm gonna drink something that's got that much hoppiness, I'd rather drink the Juice Force or whatever that was. And it's got 9.4%. Yeah.
The Fruit Bomb. By the way, they don't age very well. I will let you. I'll let you know that for a fact. I had one sitting around for like 4 or 5 months, and it did not age well at all. It was pretty gross.
The Juice Force, or
yeah, Juice Force. So it definitely has a shelf life. There's nothing on the bottle that says it or can, but yeah, it definitely changes. It's very bitter. It's not good. So I guess we are kind of missing some interesting facts about Decent Brewery. I guess they've been around for 20 years, so they're not like a new thing. So they got some age on them, which is quite interesting. What other beers do they make? Have you give us any other ones lately? Or
I have not. No, this was the only East End
Gotcha.
that
Have you ever been there?
Shared. I have. They actually. I did. They had like a running event, so I went there and drank a whole bunch of beer. It's like, well, this is not like this is backwards. But they have like Detroit. I don't know if it is actually Detroit style pizza, but it's like the thicker crust, a lot of cheese, burnt. So I mean that's Detroit style pizza to me, but they don't list it as Detroit style pizza.
Gotcha.
It's really good. It's delicious. I would like to go back. It's actually not that far from me, but now it's snowing out, so I don't know.
Not here yet. Like I would.
Right. There are the beers that I've had are good. They also make ciders and seltzers. I don't know if they make anything other than that. But yeah, no, I like them. They did so Pittsburgh has a ton of neighborhoods, 90 plus or around 90 of them. Like we live in Shadyside. This East End is in Morningwood, I believe.
That happens.
Homewood. It's in Homewood.
I'm pretty sure it's not Morningwood.
Oh god.
I was gonna roll it.
It's in Homewood. Their latest, they made a beer for every neighborhood. Or they're going through. Since 2019, they've been doing that. The latest one was the Morningside neighborhood. That's why I mixed Morning and Homewood together.
I had a question. I forgot. Good.
I was gonna say,
you really derailed him by the whole morning.
Sorry. I mean, according to this article, this is an old article, but they can do in their new brewery, which opened in 2011. They can do 2,500 to 5,000 barrels a year. I don't know what they're actually producing. I couldn't find numbers. 2008 they had 700 barrels. 2010 was 1,800 barrels. They just opened a new tap room in Mount Lebanon, which is another. I guess it's a suburb of Pittsburgh. It's a different, yeah. But
Right.
yeah.
I guess it can see about suburbs. So are the neighborhoods in Pittsburgh like subdivisions? I guess because Flint's divided up that way, even though it's not a subdivision. But where I grew up in was Glenwood subdivision, which was like the neighborhood. But I mean, there wasn't like a real subdivision. It was just how they subdivided up Flint itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a subdivision because I would say, but yeah, I guess it is a subdivision because it's a subdivision of
Yeah, the city itself.
the city, and they have their own, not council, but like neighborhood.
Yep.
Maybe it is a neighborhood council, but how things have to be run and whatever.
So Flint had wards. You have like so many wards per subdivision, and
it's like New York. They have different boroughs and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all cool. They're all very unique.
That's cool.
You guys have to come visit Pittsburgh.
Do they keep up with them? Like do they keep producing them, or they make one? And that's like a seasonal thing?
They did a run of them. I think the last one came out in 2022, so I think they're done. I don't know if any of them stuck. But you can still find some in cans, like the place where I found all of these. They're probably pretty old at this point. If the last run was 2022, but
yeah,
hitting the shelf life.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of like the pale ale Dales or whatever the heck they're called. It's kind of what it tastes like to me. It's like I don't know if it's a local brand, but it's like their logo on their cans aren't very spiffy. It's just a plain old sticker. It just says Dale Ale on it or something like that. That's not bad. It's only 4.4%, so which is pretty interesting. It's a very light lager. Or not lager, excuse me, Pilsner.
Yeah, I feel like it's very crisp, and I think it's just very cold right now. But yeah, it's like it seems like a good summertime beer. When we were initially trying to have these, we totally nailed that mark. So how was your guys' weekends? Sorry,
weekends.
Yeah, it's been.
Oh, that's fine.
It's been what 5 weeks.
The last one we recorded was 1, 2, 3.5 weeks ago, so it's been a minute. According to mine, maybe my dates are off, but yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. A lot has happened.
Did you do anything fun beer related? Has anything happened beer related?
So this weekend I went out. So I don't know why in town, but pop-up bars are a thing. So they're bars that aren't going to stick around. They're themed. So right now it's obviously the holidays. So we went to. It was basically like Bronner's like threw up all over this bar. There was just all this like knickknacks and Christmas lights. It was chaos. We walk in and it's like the bouncer's dressed up as like an elf, and he's kicking someone out because they were fighting. He's like, "It's Christmas. Why the hell are you fighting?" I was like, "Oh my god, we should leave." But it was a blast. Their drinks were actually really good. And then we went to another pop-up bar that was. There was like flamingos on the ceiling. I'm not sure if I'm sold on the whole pop-up idea. Like, can I just go to like my local bar and get something? But
how long do they stay open for?
I think this one's just the season, so it'll be gone by Christmas once that one's gone.
Okay, so it's here for about a month.
Yeah, they rotate. I mean, they do like pop-up restaurants, I know, or whatever, but I don't know. It's a weird.
Yeah, it's a weird concept for sure. The only reason why I asked that is because I know somebody who's a food inspector, and if an event's only a day or two, like you don't have to get inspected, but if you're longer than that, you have to get inspected. So I was just curious, like how long they last. If they're only for like a weekend, maybe there's no inspections. I don't have to worry about being the cleanliness,
right?
Whatever.
It's kind of like a food truck.
Yeah.
How about you guys, Mike or Jeremy?
Okay, Mike.
I haven't really done a whole hell of a lot of anything. Did a lot of laying face down on the floor some more. That was fun. my back, it got to the point where it was like I needed to go to like the hospital to like figure out what was going on. And I went there, and then it came back, and I was better somehow. It's crazy. I think they were able to like assess the situation better and prescribe things that actually worked.
Gotcha.
So, and then because of that, I basically hadn't been drinking for like 2 or 3 weeks. So I just didn't really want to I didn't really want to mess with the painkillers or whatever Tylenol. I was on basically Tylenol, and they say you really shouldn't drink with Tylenol, but you shouldn't drink with ibuprofen though either, because it all just kind of all culminates in your. I
think you just shouldn't drink really, but
that's true. But since then, I've weaned off of all of that stuff, and so Thanksgiving I did with my family, and I had a few bourbons with my dad, and then the Saturday after Thanksgiving, barrel aged beer Satbab happened. It was my own fault, but it was a little disappointing.
What's Satbab?
Saturday after Thanksgiving, barrel aged beer. It's a made up holiday that we've created.
Okay.
It's like Fobab, but for my parents who won't go. Fobab is festival of barrel aged beer. So basically, what happened was like throughout the year, I would go to all these stores, like the one down in Ohio, and then out in where Tinley Park area. There's like a bunch of like a beer store that you can buy. Like Open Bottle is the name of the place. You could buy all the stuff from there. Well, I bought just like random stuff that I've been saving for like a year to like try there, and then like none of them were very good. One of them like bubbled up as I was like opening it. It wasn't barrel aged, but it was a stout. I was super excited because it was from Microphone, and I hadn't been able to go to Microphone in a few years because it's just so far out of the way. But then that one bubbled up weird big bubbles, and I'm like, this is gonna be bad. And then we probably brought like, I think it was like 15 beers, and then Tate's brought like probably 10 or so beers, and we didn't drink nearly as many of them because we just like couldn't get through some of the bottles, and we like can't throw it away. So like we just sit there like without, like 3 or 4 of us would be without a drink while the one person finished it so we could open another one. It was like I'm not going to do that anymore. I think I've gotten burned. I'm going to do the barrel aged beer festival. I'm just not going to do the going to buy, and I don't want to try a whole bunch of different beers. I don't think I need to really look for a new brewery anymore at this point. I think I could just stick with the ones I know I like, and then just bring like 5 or 6 beers that I know I like versus bringing 10 random beers. So that part sucked. Otherwise, it was fun to like get together and hang out with Tate's and my parents and stuff and just drink. Because we did find like we had some that were really good. Tate's brought most of those, but ultimately it was, and like I don't know if because I hadn't been drinking for so long, it was like I was having a hard time with it. I didn't feel drunk, but then I felt like shit when I went to bed. So like I could have been the very first beer that gave me like bubble gut, and I'm just like super gassy and super uncomfortable the whole night. So yeah. But so what about you, Jeremy?
Mike's getting old.
I can't do this
stories
anymore.
over here. Can't do this no more. I feel good. Oh, I guess enough for a minute. I gotta calculate the risk. Stepping on this step stool. I don't want to break a hip. At least that's what I got to do. I don't know. See, it's been 3 weeks since we recorded. Look at the calendar. I haven't even looked at the calendar yet. Let's see. Yeah, I don't remember doing a whole lot. I'm sure I drank. I brewed. I don't know if I talked about that or not. I made my American Stout for a competition. I need to enter it in. I may go up there Sunday or Wednesday. I have a meeting, so I may just drop it off Wednesday. So an American Stout is just a very simple, plain old stout. There's nothing special to it. I did throw like a handful of oats into it because I want a little bit of body. So it's not exactly to the guidelines, but I don't think they'll notice. Or
Dude,
gosh, I
just
don't
like,
think they'll notice.
Nobody's
And
in it.
Oof. Just threw it in there. I like it. I think it tastes really good. It's been
You
done.
kegged it then, I assume?
It's all kegged. I've probably had, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 pints off of it now. I've had Brandon tried it. He liked it. That's about it. I don't think I had anyone else try it yet. So I did that. So that was kind of fun. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh, I never got to do that smash beer I was supposed to brew. That's because every weekend I've been busy doing other stuff and other life stuff happens, so I can't get that done. If I don't get it done this week, I'm gonna throw away the grain. I think I don't know how long crushed grain lasts for. I can't find no definitive answers. So it's already been crushed. It's been sitting in a bag for about a month. So it don't smell bad, but we'll see. And I guess I'll get into the smash beer later because it's actually kind of like the recipe for this beer in a way that I'm making. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I guess that's about all I've done like a few weeks ago. I did other stuff, but I was saving for like other podcasts. Some other things to talk about.
So your smash beer wouldn't, if you're just going to throw out the grain, wouldn't you rather just? Oh yeah, I guess it's a big pain in the ass to brew though. So, like I was like, if you're going to throw it out anyway, wouldn't it be better to throw out after it's already been like mixed together? But then you have like an entire like day or weekend worth of brewing it that is wasted also. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's not better necessarily.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll like I said, I'll try to get into it this weekend and hopefully get it done, get it going. It'll be fun. Smash beers are easy to make. Like I know I said before, Smash stands for single malt, single malt and single hop. That's it. Really simple.
Oh, you put the and in there. That's how you get the A. Single malt and single hop. Smash.
Single hop,
Got it. I was like, but that's single malt, single hop. It's like, that'd be smush.
Okay, for the and in there. I guess we need to talk about the different styles of Pilsners.
Yeah.
There's 4 different styles. I'm sure you probably know of. I knew of 3 of them. I didn't know the 4th one. I didn't know there was a Belgian Pilsner style.
Yeah, I'm looking at your list, and I did not know that either.
I've never found one nor had one. I've had American, Czech, and German. Czech is my favorite out of all of them.
I don't know that I've ever had a Czech. I don't know if I've ever had a Czech Pilsner.
The Czech, I didn't put any commercial brands down. I probably should look that up. I apologize about that.
We'll
I know. Yeah, leave it in the comments. So, like one of my local home breweries, he makes a Czech Pilsner that's just phenomenal. I really like his Czech Pilsners. I definitely fell off my game doing this. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
This Pilsner is malt. Pilsner malt is so it's sweetened bread. Sorry, I was trying to read the notes or whatever, and it's kind of a cool, the Czech style Pilsner, like a sweetened bread.
And I bet you I've probably had one and I liked maltiness.
It.
Yeah, I think this is what I like. I like a little bit of the maltiness that's there. That's it. It kind of makes it a little sweeter. Some styles that I've had have a sulfur kind of flavor to it. I feel like that might be more American styles, but I also think that might be an off flavor. I think they may have messed up somewhere. Like, I mean, it doesn't taste like an egg or anything like that, or matches, but it definitely, their sulfur is definitely present in the beer itself.
Yeah, I feel like I get some of those, not in this one specifically, but I feel like sometimes when you have a beer and you open it, you get it smells real bad, like the little bit that's sitting in the neck, whatever air or CO2 in there, tastes really bad. I feel like I've gotten that too at breweries but not breweries, but like bars that potentially don't clean out their lines very well, or are using, I hate to think of it this way, but the wrong CO2. Like I had a beer the other day off of a tap that I don't normally get tapped beer from, and it reminded me of paintball CO2 canisters. Like I could smell, I felt like I could smell the oil that they would put in like those
lube.
guns and stuff, and I was like, this is probably bad.
Yeah.
Well, the issue with that kind of thing is that typically you're not getting them filled, you're exchanging them. So if some jackass decided to spray oil in it because whatever he was using that CO2 tank for, like that's how you basically like grease,
Right.
like what they told us to do for our oil or for our paintball guns is so that you would oil all the parts inside it just when you're spraying it. So if whoever used that before, even though it's food grade, decided to like put some oil in, or even if it's food grade oil, they could have done that to oil some of whatever the thing they're using. I can't imagine what else would be doing it, but maybe you would want some oil in like the gun, those lines and stuff. I don't know.
I don't think
Yeah.
nothing I've ever seen. There's no
Wouldn't
oil at
want
all.
to. Yeah.
So the only time like you would use some type, there is a food grade lubricants for like corny kegs or I guess be corny kegs. So like when you're trying to seal it back up, it's kind of like Vaseline, but it's like food grade. So you put that on the O-ring itself, so that way it makes a better seal. Because when you buy them used, they're not always flat in the inside. They may be buckled a little bit, so that lubricant helps. Help it seat and seal a little bit better. But actually, in the beer line stuff like that, I've never come across anything like that before. I also kind of wonder if it was an old keg that was just bad and gave you those unique flavors that
Could have been.
that
Or
were
not
present.
stored properly.
Yeah,
Like if
could
they
have
don't
that
store it
too.
in their cooler and they just put it in their basement somewhere or something.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to some like bars that had the CO tanks turn up too high, for sure, because every beer they pour is just foam. That's all it is. It's just foam. They gotta sit there and wait, and then they don't know how to do it right, so they sit there. They have the glass like this, and they're just pouring in beer, and the foam is just flowing out.
Yep.
Like, just turn down the regulator just a little bit. Wait, just everyone wait like 5 minutes or so, and then try again. For at home brew, for home brews, what I do, I'll bleed the tank if it's up too high. So I'll just purge it, and then I'll reset the regulator. Not only because like this stout, just because it is a stout, it does pour more foam than liquid. I have it serving at about, I think 4 psi, where most beers I do between 8 and 12.
I just
So
realized
it's
that
super low.
the one that I'm pouring right now, I was so we went to, and I'll probably talk about this next week, but we went to, one of the beer stores that we went to in Ohio have like 15 or 20 taps, and they had the Bourbon County variant on tap there. And you could just so we took our like pressurized CO2 things, and it was $35 for 64 ounces of a beer that costs $25 for a 16-ounce bottle. So I'm like, okay, I'll take the 24 ounces, please. It was delicious. I forget what the variant's called. It's something clever. Oh, it's not. It's clever. It's just their backyard stout. So the Bourbon County came out with their backyard stout, which has got like, it's aged on a berry medley at the end, boysenberries, blueberries, Muriano berries, I think, and I don't know what those are. But it was delicious, and I have that turned up too high because it's coming out foamy. But I wanted to, because I drove home and it shook it all up, I wanted to kind of pressurize it a little bit. I just need to let off on some of that, I think.
Yeah, just bleed it and then.
But I do have the bleed valve. I'm like, why would they ever have the, like, because I had like a bleed valve on the back of it. I'm like, why would you ever do this? And you just let me know that that's why you do it, because, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, things I know amaze me sometimes.
So what was your Pilsner recipe, I guess, seeing as it's about that time?
So I'm going for a smash Czech Pilsner. That's kind of what I'm going to make, which it isn't really a real style, but that's what I'm going to call it. I think it's my beer. I call it what I want. So I'm not going to make 5 gallons personally, but for a 5-gallon recipe, like I would shoot for 12 pounds of grains. You can use I always mispronounce this. It's a German style Pilsner.
Bohemian
Bohemian Pilsner. And this one, you're gonna mash in at a low temperature. It's like one of the lower ones I think I ever done is like 149 degrees. Most beers I do are 152 to 156 for the most part. So this one's slow and low, and so you get more sweetness, basically more maltiness out of it. And then we're gonna do some your hops in 3 different steps. We're gonna do like the 60-minute one with 2 ounces of sauce hops. Sauce hops will give it more of like a traditional Pilsner peppery kind of bite to it that I want. In about 30 minutes, do 1.5 ounces of hops, and then the last like 10 minutes or so, or less, just use a half an ounce. And then from there, the lager yeast I'm going to use is going to be the SAF lager, the W30 3470, and I'm going to do mine under pressure because I don't have a temperature control yet. I don't know if I'll ever get one because I just don't have the room. Or actually, I have the room. I just don't think I want to buy another deep freezer to do temperature control because.
Could you do it in a mini fridge?
With modifications. But what I'm going to do differently with mine, so that's the base recipe. I'm going to dry hop another ounce of sauce hops in mine because I want mine to be dry hopped. I want a dry hopped Czech Pilsner. I want that more of a bite in my beer.
Is that going to give it more of the IPA bite?
It's going to have it won't be an IPA, but it'll definitely have the bite. I think kind of like this one has, like, there's just the linger of the hop bitterness. It's going to be more pronounced. That's all. Because I want to experiment a little bit more with the beers. Like that's what I'm thinking of what it's going to be like. Because it's going to be more flavor and not smell. So I can't wait. I'm excited.
Cool. So this is one that you're going to do, you think?
Yeah.
It seems pretty easy when it's single malt, single hop. So you don't have you don't have to get a ton of stuff. You just have to be more accurate when you're like putting stuff in. That's kind of cool.
The biggest thing is keeping that temperature at 149. That's gonna be the hardest part. So it's cold down here, like it is up there. I'm not as cold as you guys, but I mean I'm sub 40s, 30s.
So how are you?
Temperature sucks.
If you have a second, how do you?
Oh, I have a
do your temperature control? Are you just on like a plate, and you're manually adjusting?
So when I'm actually brewing the beer itself, so I have a built-in thermometer at the bottom of my keg, or not my keg, but my kettle, and then I use a digital thermometer on top, and so I'll take 2 readings. So I'll stir, and then I'll take both readings, and I'll just divide and get the mean, and blah blah blah. And if it starts to drop too low, I'll turn the heat back on. So I use propane burner. That's what I use for the temperature. But you have to be careful of that too, because you have to because the bottom could heat up faster because it has a thick plate, so they can heat up too much and it throws everything off, and then you got to hurry up and sit there, stir to keep everything moving so it cools down, and yeah.
You could use a sous vide, could you?
Maybe.
Because that will
you wouldn't want to put the sous vide in it. You'd have to
if I get stuck.
I would probably do like your wort chiller, but then put the liquid that you're using in the sous vide and have the wort chiller be the like thing heating it up. So you only have to like clean your wort chiller, and then it's just clean water going in and out of the out of the.
I was just curious, but yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah, I mean, eventually I would like to get an all-in-one, especially just for the winters. Honestly, I like the propane. I think it's fun. I like the dance, but when it's warmer outside, there's not a whole lot of dancing going on. Like you just gotta sit around. In the winter months, I'd rather just like boop 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 149 and it just
see
don't have to worry about it.
The issue I feel like with what you're doing, and this is for me, is that now you're never going to know what it is that you didn't like about it. Was it because you went up to like 170 for like a minute or two and then dropped it back down, or whatever, 160 or 180 or whatever the big difference would be that would cause a problem, or you just didn't like whatever recipe you created. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like there could be so many variables there that you're changing consistently. and then you don't know if you liked that recipe or not, and then you don't know if you're like if it's worth ever doing again.
That's why I try to
kinda
make
scary.
that book I showed you guys before. Like I try to make notes,
Oh yeah, that's a good
especially
idea.
the stuff that changes on me. So like if I don't hit my strike water temperature or the mass temperature fluctuates, and I will write that down. Like it dropped 5 degrees in 10 minutes. Why? And then I get to ponder about that while I'm trying to figure it all out. One thing I try to do is I don't have a a sleeping bag, but I have some really thick drop cloths, and I'll actually wrap that around the kettle itself. I try to insulate some of the heat so it stays a little trapped for the most part.
You have to do that after you shut off
Yeah.
the water or shut off the boiler, I'm
The heat,
assuming.
yeah. No, I
I
put it on
hope
there.
so.
I get that fire going on. That's how you make smoked beer, right?
Right.
You got one of those like NASA blankets that are completely
Yes.
heat retardant. So what do you guys think now? I'm gonna give it a thumbs up, I guess. I've
still like
changed
it.
my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's still good beer.
Early Day,
Oh my
Early
gosh,
Day
it'd be neat.
Pilsner. That's a
Day.
three pals. Not that anybody that's listening to this podcast besides Jason, if he ever listens to it again, will be able to find this beer. But if
Hey,
you do,
I can bring it. Yeah, I don't think they're only in Pittsburgh. I don't know that they're in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure they're outside of it.
Right.
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of unfortunate. There's a big political debate about distribution and alcohol in the other states. and
Everywhere.
stuff.
Yeah.
See, it's crazy how it works out. Yeah, it's insane.
Alrighty, well, I think that's a good wrapping up point. I just wanted to say thanks for tuning in, and go have a pint with your pals.
Please drink responsibly.
And please like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. We've been chatting some. Please let us know what you're thinking.
Until then,
Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers.